I was like, all right, I can do this. Colts lose, Panthers lose, Jets won. I don't even want to say Houston lost. Jets won.
That was a horrible fucking week. What is going on, guys? Week 13 of the NFL season is here, and I am joined once again, as I am always, by Ben. Ben, it is week 13 of the NFL season, and last week was an absolute shit show. But how are you
Don't
feeling going
remind
into
me.
week 13?
Don't remind me. That Sunday night game was even Monday night wasn't that great. Like I watched the first half, like, okay, this could be interesting, and then I ended up turning it off. I was like, I wonder who won, and I saw the update that Washington won. I'm like, it just wasn't satisfying, honestly.
Coming from somebody who had a near perfect week earlier in the season, I had 4 points last week. Total. Four. Ben, on the other hand, Ben managed to get 9 points. So if you remember, it was only a 5-point game last week. So now we are currently tied 131 to 131. I only got one main pick right and 2 other picks and nothing else. That is all I got last
all
week. I can
all
tell
according
you
to
the
plan.
3 games that I got correct. The Giants, which, by the way, Philly, I was right. You suck. Buffalo, that wasn't really a no-brainer or anything like that. And the 49ers beating the Vikings. And that one I was kind of on a toss-up with when I picked it. But like I said, guys, it is 131 to 131. The bet is still a secret. We still do have a lot of points still to be scored, so a lot can still happen. But the bet that is a secret will happen shortly, and it's a tie game, so it could happen to anybody. But Week 13 of the NFL season is here, and we start Week 13 with the game of the week, and there are not a whole lot of good games this week. But there is one game that is above all the other games, and I was unfortunate enough to have to pick this game because it is a real toss-up. The Buffalo Bills going up against the current division-leading New England Patriots, who we did not think at this point in the season that they'd be leading. I figured if anything, it'd be close early and that the Bills would pull away near the end of the season. But the Bills have been very inconsistent so far this season. And the Patriots, on the other hand, they've just been consistently getting better as the season has been going on. Now, I am going to pick Buffalo for this game 32 to 17. There's a couple reasons why, 32 to 27, not 17. There's a couple reasons why. One, Buffalo's home. I do think that gives them a slight advantage going up against New England. Number two, with Buffalo's inconsistencies, it hasn't really been like win one, lose one, win one, lose one, because they're not like 6-6 right now. Been kind of on a win two, lose one streak, and we're right in the middle of that win two. They've only won one in a row, so this would be the second in a row. But in all honesty, in all seriousness, I do think that the Buffalo Bills are the better team in this division, and I do still think that the Buffalo Bills end up winning this division, and in order for them to do so, the Buffalo Bills are going to have to win this game. So 32 to 27, and I think Buffalo knows that, so they're going to go into this with a lot of urgency. 32-27 Buffalo over New England.
Well, you got a divisional matchup, and I also got one, and it is the AFC West showdown between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, one thing that really kind of baffled me was the Chiefs' defense has stepped up very recently, and they're only allowing like 14, 15 points in like the last like 4 or 5 weeks. So their defense has shown up. Their offense is clicking on all cylinders. I think both of us felt like they were going to do eventually. Their offense, you can only slow that offense down for so long. And even though I think Denver still has the better defense, the overall talent, I think, is still Kansas City's on this matchup. So that's why I have the Kansas City Chiefs winning this one 30 to 24. I do think the Broncos will probably score the most against this Chiefs defense, which is really weird to say because the defense of the Chiefs isn't exactly like stellar. It isn't exactly like mind-boggling, but like they're on a good streak. I think they'll still keep it going, but I think the defense will still show some cracks because it's still not the best in the league. I think it's like the middle of the pack, which I think all you need with that offense. So I think the Kansas City Chiefs will continue to keep their lead in this division and mainly because I want that preseason pick point.
Okay, so I mentioned the fact that the Bills have been very inconsistent with this year. Well, something I've been very inconsistent on this year is my upset pick, and I need something. So I thought, why don't we go with the Ben theory? And that is, you take a player that has something going on with them, and you just pick their team to lose when there's really no fucking reason to pick this team to lose other than a funny thing about a player. So I'm taking the Ben approach. Odell Beckham Jr. has been absolutely ridiculed for the last couple weeks, and we're just as guilty of it too, for the fact that he was on the Giants, and the Giants weren't great. They were mediocre. They weren't bad before Odell went over there, but he was supposed to help that team to become better, and they didn't. They just became a lot worse with Odell. Traded Odell away to the Cleveland Browns. A lot of high hopes for the Cleveland Browns, and nothing ends up happening out of it. And ends up becoming team issue and stuff like that. He ends up getting traded from the Cleveland Browns. Well, now he goes to the Los Angeles Rams, who go up against the Jacksonville Jaguars this week and are favored by 13 points. And ever since Odell has put on a Los Angeles Rams jersey, the Rams have yet to win a game or even really look remotely competitive in a game against both teams that they played, the San Francisco 49ers and then the Green Bay Packers last week. So now they go up against the Jacksonville Jaguars, arguably the worst team in the league, and do they still just keep losing with Odell? Fuck it. I'm taking the Ben approach. 2017 Jaguars over the Rams. If I get this fucking pick, I'm going to be happy. But at the same time, what the fuck?
I picked your Super Bowl pick to lose to the Jags, and now you're picking you're going against my Super Bowl pick.
Yeah, your Super Bowl pick is now.
So clearly, if the Jags win, the Jags are the best team in the NFL according to us.
Clearly.
Yeah, clearly. Urban Meyer, GOAT. And my upset pick is going to be a team that honestly didn't think they were going to do well this year. They got 2 more wins than I even thought they would do. I was this close to picking Detroit. I was very close. You know what? I did it I think 3 times. Third time was not the charm. Detroit's probably going 16-1. Anyways, I'm not talking about that shitty franchise. I'm talking about another shitty franchise, and that is the Houston Texans. One of the most boring names ever, but I have them upsetting the Indianapolis Colts, and I'm using the same logic I had last week. No reason in hell the Texans should win, but hey, they beat the Titans, so fuck it. Why not? I'll have them beat the Colts here. I have them beating the Colts 24-21 for literally no reason other than, you know what? Why not? Let's see what happens.
At this point, let's just rename the upset pick to the fuck it pick.
I mean, it kind of is, honestly, at this point.
Okay, we move on to our picks of the week. Now, the Atlanta Falcons have no hope.
Don't remind me.
No hope. They're going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But the Giants, after getting a divisional win against the Philadelphia Eagles that was just an ugly game. But they got to win. They got to win against the Eagles. They go up against the Miami Dolphins this week, who just haven't been very pretty themselves this year. And like I said a couple weeks ago, I do think that this was one of the Giants' last winnable games besides the Washington game and potentially the Philly games. So I will pick the Giants for this one, 23-20. They are in Miami, and they haven't shown that the firing of Jason Garrett has fixed the offense in any way, shape, or form. So the Eagles turned the ball over 4 fucking times, and the Giants scored 13 points and still almost lost the game.
You're just lucky Rager just can't catch. All right, and mine is the defending Super Bowl champions. Well, you know what? At the end of the day, I have Tampa Bay losing. That's right. I'm going with my heart, man. I'm fucking going with my heart here. I'm going to give you 2 points because you know what? Why not? We'll see what happens. I am 100% serious. I will send you my list right now as I'm saying this right now, too. I have the Falcons. Come on. That's right. Take those headphones out. I have the Falcons winning this one. He's not even going to hear my score. Just get out. Just get the fuck out. All right. I'm going to talk to the viewers here unless Nick edits this out. I have the Falcons. I want to wait for him to come back. Anyways, I have the Falcons winning for no reason. They shouldn't win. But you know what? Why not? We'll see what happens. I got Atlanta winning this one 28-24. And to give you something better, Nick, in this game, I have what my 2 point is going to be. I told you you're going to call me crazy for this week. If you haven't already thought that. So I have Atlanta winning because you know what? Fuck it. Why not? At this point in the season.
You remind me a lot of the Giants. You know, at the end of that game yesterday, or last Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles, the Giants would have the ball and give the ball back to Philly and be like, here, no, you win the game. You got this. And Philly would turn the ball over. And the Giants would go 3 and out and be like, no, another chance, you got this. And the Philly would turn the ball over. Well, you've been down on points this entire season. You finally tie the score, and you're like, nah. I'm picking Atlanta to beat Tampa. We move on to the wild card picks, and I will start with the game that you will all see tonight. The Dallas Cowboys going up against the New Orleans Saints, two teams that Ben doesn't want to talk a single word about. I kind of like I don't hate the New Orleans Saints. Like, there's no real reason for me to hate the New Orleans Saints. I obviously hate the Cowboys. So, I'd pick New Orleans in this situation if New Orleans had a competent quarterback. Now, I understand the Dallas Cowboys have been kind of on and off here and there, but I think with the fact that, and this really doesn't affect how the Cowboys play at all, but with the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles are starting to suck, the Giants have no hope in winning this division, and even though Washington managed to beat Seattle last week, also has no hope of winning this division, I think the Cowboys get this second sense of confidence, the second sense of this lack of urgency to the point where they're just like, all right, well, we won the division, so there's nothing to really choke anymore, so we might as well win this game anyway. So, 31-27, I have the Cowboys winning because there's really nothing to choke yet for the Dallas Cowboys. When they get into the playoffs, that's when they'll really start choking. But, I feel like last week their loss to the Las Vegas Raiders was like the iconic, like you mentioned last week, it was the iconic Dallas Cowboys choke. It was the opening of the door for the Philadelphia Eagles to beat the Giants, get within a game or two of Dallas, with some games against Dallas coming up, and really make Dallas start to sweat it out. Well, Philly just turned around and was like, fuck it, we're just going to lose to the Giants. So at this point, Dallas has nothing to choke. The East is theirs. And they'll choke when it comes playoff time. But 31-27, I have Dallas over the New Orleans Saints.
All right, and my wild card is going to be two AFC teams who I think at least one of them I thought would be where they were at right now, and one is definitely going above and beyond, and that is the Los Angeles Chargers and the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals didn't look that great last couple of weeks, but then just had an absolute domination of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, you know why, right? Because I picked them as my upset. That's why.
Well, honestly, even then, I was just watching that game. At least I was watching highlights of that game, and I was like, God damn. But I do think that the Chargers are still the better team, and I think they have the slightly better defense. And I have the Chargers winning this one 27-21 over Cincinnati. And honestly, I think that the Bengals could still win this one, but I think Herbert is going to prove that he's the best quarterback from this draft class because it's him finally going up against Joe Burrow, so should be a good matchup, but no matter what, I still got the Chargers winning this game.
So those are our picks for the week, guys. If there are any picks that we didn't talk about that you guys want to see, go ahead and see those now. Pause the video, blah, 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 say the same shit every week. These are our other picks. So the final segment, as always, of Nick's Picks, Week 13, is the 2-point conversion, and I'm going to go back to my game of the week, the Buffalo Bills going up against the New England Patriots. Now, I was going to do a combined thing with Mac Jones and Josh Allen, the two quarterbacks in this, like we do every week. So original, Nick. But, Mac Jones isn't really putting up like numbers at all. Like, he's just getting the job done. He's winning the games. So there's really no like. I mean, it would be bold of me to say that Mac Jones would throw for 300 yards, but I don't see it happening. He's not like a 300-yard quarterback type player. Like, he's just really not. Josh Allen, on the other hand, is the kind of guy that can absolutely take over on the offensive side of the ball and be the only offensive threat that Buffalo really needs. So Josh Allen going for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in a key game against the New England Patriots would absolutely, in my opinion, solidify him as one of the top quarterbacks, not only in the AFC, but in the league, I think. I do believe that by the end of the season, you can call this bold, you can call this crazy. By the end of the season, I think Josh Allen should be considered a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. So 300 yards, 3 touchdowns against the New England Patriots, a division rival, in a game where Buffalo really needs to win. Where would you put him? Top 7, 8?
I would say he's 8.
8?
I would say he started at like 10. I think he bumped up 2 spots. All right, my 2 point. You ready for this?
Oh, God.
I don't think you're ready for this. So, obviously, I want you to hear this. I want you to put those fucking hands down. I want you to listen. Listen to the words that I'm going to speak to you. The Bucs are not only going to lose. Tom Brady will not have over 300 yards passing. Because Atlanta does give a lot of yards. They haven't, at least to my opinion.
You do have a very shit defense, secondary especially.
And Brady has a lot of weapons. I mean, I think, I like AJ Terrell. He's coming up pretty well, but I mean, yeah, he might guard Mike Evans.
Just yards
Chris
or
Godwin.
Touchdowns too? Just
yards.
Okay.
Just yards for now, because I do think Brady will get his touchdowns. I mean, he could have like 200 yards, but like 5 touchdowns, because he dinks up in the red zone. That's where he's deadly. So I do have him throwing less than 300 yards, and knowing my luck like last week with Matthew Stafford, if I count them more than yards, I still would have lost by 5.
What was your score for this game? I think
5.
I got up and walked away before I heard it.
Oh, I said 28-24.
So that is it for week 13 of Nick's Picks, guys. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Me and Ben have been discussing it. There are going to be some, especially in Nick's Picks Season 3, there are going to be some like extra shows. I don't want to get too much into detail, but there are going to be some extra shows rather than just the every Thursday picks. And to kick that off and to kind of throw some like test videos out there, we will start to do that towards the end of this season. It won't be this week by any means, but towards the end of the season, we may throw in some other videos throughout the week. So if there is any videos you guys want to see, like a tier list, or like a who would you rather have, like a Russell Wilson versus Dak Prescott type of thing, throw those kind of videos in the comments below. NFL trivia is also an option I was maybe thinking, but throw some ideas in the comments for us, guys. And like I said, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And Ben, is there anything you want to say before we head out for week 13?
Well, it's week lucky 13, and let's see how lucky I can get with my upset and my fan pick. So let's see how.
Hopefully not very lucky after having a 4-point outing out of me last week. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great one. Peace.
Deuces.